I love skeletons, like in almost every setting. Books, games, anime, fucking mobile games. I also really love playing League of Legends, but there was always a game that reigned king above all. Heroes of the Storm, a League clone that primarily uses the various IPs of Blizzard Entertainment. And despite Blizzard being no short of their own controversies over the many years, including one recently, consists of StarCraft, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, and of course, Diablo. One of my personal favorite IPs that Blizzard has ever had to offer people. And it just so happened that this game just had to have the GOAT of that franchise added into the game. And little did we know, they made the Mad Skeleton King a far bigger threat than he ever was before.
As king, I dedicated my life to Tristram and served its people with all my heart. In exchange, they called me a madman and betrayed me. But I have returned, stronger than ever.
His story is a sad one. He was a nomadic king that claimed a land that he dubbed Kundaris, a not too old fallen kingdom of the past, and he had but one son. That son, however, is canonically a warrior of the first Diablo game. The plot would go, after the gates of hell open up on Kundaris' land, his firstborn ventures in deep, eventually slaying the primeval Diablo, but ultimately becoming the next vessel for the primeval. Sorry for spoilers. And old King Leo grew a little bit more mad due to Diablo's influence across the land. Leo here is now a target, much like how Leo saw everyone else a target of betrayal. Leoric was convinced that everyone around him was at his throat to gain his crown, even his wife, and single-handedly killed countless of his own people and was dubbed the Mad King. It was said that merely a glance in Leoric's direction was enough to earn death at the height of his paranoia. Leo around this time felt that his thoughts were not his own, that he felt his mind being puppeteered by something or someone else. But it mattered little, for he was already far too gone, and felt deep regret for his actions. But these feelings would soon fade. After years of this madness, his vision grew to reality, when there was an uprising, and Leo was executed in the town square, but ultimately sealed away. But his spite grew, and not even death could claim the Mad King. And from the help of Diablo himself, he walked the earth again, more determined to silence the sound of betrayal, and dead set on commanding his new kingdom of undead. From the east shall come a monarch whose rule begins in blood and ends in bone. In the light of a comet he will die a third and final death at the hands of the true men, or chosen woman. Leoric and his lichness would eventually fall for good in the third installment of Diablo 3, as the first act's final boss. Unless he makes a triumphant return in Diablo 4, Leoric's down for good. For all the League of Legends fans out there, Leoric is a mix of Vayne and Kindred and Mordekaiser rolled into one with a splash of Karthus for flavor. We'll get into all why that is in a little bit. Leo, like all champions in Heroes of the Storm, has 3 abilities and a passive and the option to select 1 out of 2 alts at his disposal every 10th level. Skeletal Swing, a large fast AoE swing that damages and slows enemies as well as being an auto reset. We'll get into why that's so important later on. His W would be Drain Hope, a tether skill shot that latches onto target, slowing both you and your target. It zaps health based on the opponent's max health. So, the larger health pool they have, collectively, the larger health pool you recover collectively. Now keep in mind, this also buries through blindness, and this also tunnels through champions that like to go invincible or untargetable. His E is called Wraithwalk. A ghost version pops out of his physical shell, able to move at high speeds and able to pass through small walls and terrain. But his original body is left open for attacks. However, he is unstoppable, so you can't be stunned or moved out of this in any way. And finally, Entomb, the ult that we'll be looking at in this video. The Bone Cage, a hallway that traps all opposing and allies in a minor terrain wall that can't be destroyed unless Leo himself wishes so to cancel it early. The only exceptions are teleporting and jumping heroes like Genji and Anubarak. His other ult would be March the Black King. He marches forward with 3 big bonks and heals according to the damage. It's ultimately very commitment heavy. You can't cancel out of it, and ultimately, at least in my experience, gets you killed almost every single time. It has its niche uses, and it's very good for damage and for team fighting, but ultimately it's super situational, and you'll just get pummeled on before you even finish the whole thing, and you'll just die. Leoric's passive is one of the most unnecessary add-ons ever conceived to Heroes of the Storm and League of Legends combined. He has a 3-hit combo passive. The first 2 are AoE swings that can strike many targets at once, and the third auto is a single target bonk that deals an additional 125 damage, not only making him anti-tank, anti-bruiser, but anti-hero, especially late game. His other passive is also game-breaking. When Leoric dies, he becomes a ghost that can wander the map and slow enemies. He can also drain health that reduces his own death timer and can slow enemies and can respawn on location without needing to be anywhere near his own fountain, effectively making him objectively the best objective and split pusher in the game. This being said, Leoric isn't perfect. The man is kind of fucking fat, and also rather fucking slow. Any poke champ can make an easy time laning with him, and rather can go toe-to-toe with him quite easily, at least until late game. Late game against any hero, Leoric becomes a problem of max damage, heal on hit, passive continuous permanent damage in an AoE fashion around Leoric at all times, the only exclusion of death. This video is a love letter to Leoric, and I need to share this monster with the world because it really doesn't seem like a lot of people see just how fucked this character is. League of Legends has a problem with 200-year-old champions, and what that basically means is every new champion needs to top the previous one so they all have more effects, flashier abilities, crazier descriptions. They can do 1,000 different things. Leoric is not a 200-year champion. He's a 2,000-year champion. He is so overtuned in a game of broken champions. He is like top 5 of the most busted champions. And we're going to get into that right now. If you're personally new to Heroes of the Storm, things are going to be slightly different from League of Legends, Smite, or even Dota. In those games, you basically have all your power at the start of the game, and the only way to build strength is by purchasing items to accommodate your personal build. Heroes, or HOTS as has been known to be called by me, and how I will be referring to it from now on, everything you do works for your collective team. You get a kill, you defeat a minion, you defeat a base, you do objective, you fight mercenaries. All that experience that you gain doesn't go to you specifically. It goes to your entire team collectively at once. Your enemies have the same rules, and every few levels, you get these levels from 1 to 20. Every few levels, you get the options to pick 1 out of 3 passive or actives. It depends on the champion whether it's a passive or an active. However, majority of most champions have more passive than active, so this is where the building, the build of each level comes into place. The only exception is that at level 10, every champion has the option to pick 1 out of 2 ultimates. As we mentioned earlier, Leoric should be Entomb or March of the Mad King. The level you receive these passives at level 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 20. At level 20, your whole team is maxed out. There's no real way to get stronger, but often you get the choice between 1 out of 3 exceptionally super strong passives to turn any fight into your little bitch, basically. In terms of the God King Leoric build, here is where we're gonna go. Level 1, Fealty unto Death. All minions' deaths heal Leo for 1.25% HP and 6 mana apiece. That's a total of 14 minions per wave, which would conclude that Leoric recovers 17.5% of his max health on top of healing gloves, making his lane sustain rather unreal in terms of Heroes of the Storm. Excluding ganks, this makes Leoric have insane stay power right off the bat. On top of his passive, unless you're a poke champion, basically, leave me the fuck alone. His second passive at level 4 is called Kneel Peasants. This gives his Q a 75% damage increase against all non-hero foes. This means minions, camps, objectives, and structures. Very strong ability, pretty much at any time during the game. His third passive at level 7, we're going to go with Willing Vessel. This increases his healing by his W by 25%, and if lasts until the very end, Leo gets a fat 5% heal pop instantly, making him a 1v1 king. So long as it lands, of course. It's still rather easy to miss. I chose this because this, despite being very, very strong in almost every 1v1 setting, this comes into huge effect later on. All of these passives have been pretty good so far. Super good, in fact, in most cases. But with these passives, Leoric is still considered not great and still insanely slow. All these abilities that we're going to go forward, combined with the abilities we just chose, this shit's about to get nutty. Leoric's ultimate, Entomb. A wall-in, or a hallway, basically, skill shot that creates an impassable wall. However, certain champs can jump over, dig under it, etc., etc. This is the bread and butter of Bone Daddy, ultimately forcing a 1v1. And with 4 seconds on the clock, it's long enough to severely hurt someone, especially if you land his W at the same time, but would you believe it? This shit gets even better. His next passive is Spectral Leech. Leo's autos now deal 2.5% of the hero's max health, and Leo heals twice the amount of damage dealt. This is always on and is permanent, thus now making a Leo a problem in any fight possible. And yes, this gets so much worse. His level 16, which is a staple on any Leoric build, is Mithril Mace, a quest. What a quest is it initially gives you nothing, but as you perform certain tasks that quest wants, you slowly gain a buff, and then when you complete it, you gain everything you've accumulated up till now, plus a big fat bonus in the end. In this case, Leo straight up gets 20% attack speed, and every time an enemy minion dies around Leo, he gains an additional 0.3% attack speed. Champion takedowns, however, grant an additional 3%. Additionally, attack speed up on 30% when complete, making his auto attacks go 50% faster, and on top of everything else, he still has one more fucking passive. Level 20, Burning Despair. If Leo wasn't bad enough before, now he hurts you just by existing. Leo deals constant, unavoidable 40 damage around his person in an AoE aura that never goes away, but the only exception is that it's not active when he's dead. On top of that, Drain Hope now gives 40 armor, which means 40% damage reduction, while doubling the area of effect of said constant damage. This is one of the most bullshit incarnate champions in any MMOBA I've ever played, and it is so fucking fun. At level 20, Leo can single-handedly 1v5 an entire team. Now mind you, as I said before, and I'll say it again, Heroes of the Storm is a game where every champion is relatively broken. But Leo just breaks that cap and becomes God King and can fuck everything up. I have single-handedly turned the tides of entire games just because we just happened to reach level 20. Because Leoric can do so much fucking damage in so little time, it's ridiculous. In my opinion, Leoric has it all. To me. His character design is a character that I love. If he was just a guy that looked like a dude, I wouldn't care. I would actually be angry with him. It's the League of Legends complex where they make all the really cool characters and all the really strong characters completely different. Where all the strong characters, they just look like dudes with swords or generic people. Well, the more interesting people obviously get shafted to the side because that's what that company believes. But Blizzard, despite all of the shit that they've put us through as consumers in the past, they always seem to nail character design. And for me, Leoric is the best character ever, and he just so happens to be one of the most mind-numbingly busted champions in the entire game. I only really hope that if they finally add Ledros into League of Legends, they just do a copy of Leoric, and that would be... I could die happy at that point. At least give him his pass. Anyway, now that all the scripted stuff is done and out of the way, I'm going to show you the real sauce of the matter. I'm going to show you a bunch of clips, a bunch of games that I've recorded. I love playing Heroes of the Storm. I don't really care if this video does well or not. I'm going to do at least 2 more characters, because despite everything I've said... Let's get closer. Despite everything I've said, Leoric isn't my favorite champion in this game. Next episode, we'll be taking a look at my number 1 little guy. That I think just... He may not be as strong as Leo, but goddamn is he so much fun to just be a little green menace. See you in the next episode, and enjoy the brutality.
Do not speak to me in those tones. Yes.
So, yeah, we're starting this thing in 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Kneel, peasant. It shall be done.
First blood.
A good strike.
Classic.
I will have your head.
That was more.
You think yourself worthy to wield the Dragon Knight's power? Prove it. Take control of the shrines.
The damned mark.
Hey, don't forget to check the pockets. What?
That was more mercy than that fiend deserved.
Capture the shrines. Inherit the Dragon Knight's power. And lay waste to this forsaken kingdom.
Pick a talent.
Death to all traitors. It shall be done. I must retreat. At once. This is the price of betrayal. retreat.
So you're dead.
Say this
You'll get
here.
over it. Wow, don't pull any punches or anything.
Your
Boom!
lord.
2-for-1 sale!
Incinerate all who oppose this realm's rebirth. I have seen enough. For now.
At once.
Oh man, you should have seen your face.
My rule is eternal. Let us conquer. Death to all traitors!
Die, insects!
Pick a tally.
Slaughter.
Prepare yourselves, heroes. The shrines will soon be active again.
I will have your head.
Harness the power of sun and moon. Put an end to this cursed realm.
At once.
Reduce everything to ash!
Death to all traitors! I shall return.
Retreat!
That beast is not my beloved. Not anymore.
Who challenges me? You dare bring the warmth of life into my tomb?
Hey, remember when you died? Oh, yeah, that just happened. Never mind. Pick a talent.
No sacrifice is too great for victory.
2-for-1 sale. Oh, nice explosion. I'd give it an 8.
I will not face death alone.
Death to all traitors! Your loyalty is noted.
My beloved is gone, but his power remains. Control the shrines and make use of it.
Oh, 2-for-1 sale!
Say hello to
Your
your
wounds
sister.
weaken you. Heal!
Oh, they're still squirming. Gross.
My husband is dead.
None shall
Remind
mourn
this
you.
kingdom of his strength.
Let us conquer.
Ooh, that's a lot of property damage.
Bring
Ooh,
your
you're dead. Can I have your stereo?
I suppose you must assist our ally.
Pick a talent.
Die, insects!
Let us conquer. My rule is eternal. Death to all traitors.
Ooh, yup. They're dead.
An excellent strike.
Why, what'd I miss? I was looking over there. Say good night.
Yes.
Well done.
Hold the line. I will be there shortly.
My rule is eternal. Bring your head here so I may cleave it. Death to all traitors! Your counsel sways me. I must retreat.
I will join your fight.
We need to recruit those mercenaries.
Woohoo! Kablamo!
Die, insects!
No escape.
2-for-1 sale.
It shall be done.
You possess a certain talent.
This is the price of betrayal.
Oh, they're still squirming. Gross.
Bring your head here so I may cleave it.
Ooh, I bet that smarts. Hey, the fort's gone. That sucks.
I require aid.
By your leave.
I tried to save this realm. Now it burns.
A wise choice.
Haha, fort destroyed.
They flee before us.
Die, insects!
I will have your head. My rule is eternal. Welcome to your tomb. before your king.
Power is yours no longer.
From my realm,
I will never.
Boom! 2 for 1 sale. It's okay. Just run back to your corpse and oh my gosh! That's 3.
The spirits guide your hand.
Die, insects!
Your counsel sways me. I shall return. The grave cannot confine me. Death to all traitors! You dare bring the warmth of life
The
into
shrines
my
awaken
tomb.
once more. Who will wield the Dragon Knight's ancient strength?
Say goodnight.
Flee or die.
Slay this so-called hero.
Woohoo! Kablamo! Oh, 2 for 1 sale.
Your hunt is over, wretch.
There must always
That's 3.
be a Dragon Knight. But will it be you?
This pleases me. Your
Hold the line. I will
loyalty
be there
is
shortly.
treason must be punished. I shall join you.
Make your enemies suffer as I have.
We cannot be stopped.
Way to go, guys. Top notch.
Haste.
Die, insects!
Face me!
This will be your prison!
His strength was never yours to keep.
Oh, 2 for 1 sale.
Well done.
Killing spree. Oh, he just lost a fort.
We must fall back.
Oh, yep. They're dead.
You gave them what they deserved.
We step closer to victory.
Wow, don't pull any punches or anything.
This conspiracy will be rooted out. By your leave.
Hey, don't forget to check the pockets. What?
I never liked your attitude.
Oh, there goes a fort. That's so neat.
Die, insects!
Way to go, guys. Top notch.
This pleases me.
Power gathers within the shrines. Seize them and become the new Dragon Knight.
Die, insects!
Bring your head here so I may clean it. You dare bring bring the warmth of life into my tomb.
Classic.
I shall return.
Begone from
Control both shrines, and the Dragon Knight's power is yours.
We are victorious. The damned march forth.
This will be your prison! Hold the line! I will be there shortly!
I am on my way. I will have your head.
Ah, they're still squirming. Gross.
That was more mercy than that fiend
tomb.
deserved.
Boom! 2 for 1 sale. Killing spree over.
I will rise again. Will you?
Die, insects!
I require aid.
To the slaughter.
Careful.
The flame cleanses all.
Welcome to your tomb.
So you're dead. You'll get over it.
Your loyalty is noted.
His strength was never yours to keep.
Ah, the enemy destroyed a fort. Yo, the core under attack? Yeah, that seems bad. Hey, don't forget to check the pockets.
I will
What?
rise again. Will you? By your leave.
2 for 1 sale.
You cannot kill that which has no life. Who challenges me? This pleases me. Your loyalty is noted. Ah!
Ha ha! Victory!